The poet, novelist, and critic Amiri Baraka once wrote, "To go back in any historical line of Black music leads us to religion, to spirit worship.
Feel the spirit, a unifying force.
This phenomenon is always at the root of Black art. House music, rock, go-go, the blues, jazz, and hip-hop are just a few of the ingredients used in making a sonic brew, with notes of a past remembered and an undisrupted identity renewed. Pioneers like Sun Ra, George Clinton, Lee Scratch Perry, Alice Coltrane, Herbie Hancock, and Richmond's own James Plunky Branch were the embodiment of Afrofuturism before the term was created. Today, we're setting our sights on jazz and how the collision of technology, music, social consciousness, and African spiritualism burst open the door for a multi-genre approach to liberated Black expression, sometimes known as Afrofuturism. I'm Kelly Lemon, and welcome to Sonic Threads.
African rhythm, make you clap your hands. African rhythm will make you wanna dance, 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 you wanna dance.
Technology has always been a part of modern music. Whether we're talking about the instruments that we make music on, those instruments largely began in Africa in a very basic form. A flute was carved out of a piece of bamboo, but when you add keys to it and make it out of metal, and that's technology being infused in music. When we start recording the music in the early 1900s, that's technology layered onto the music. When we add synthesizers, new technology to create the music and store the music, add technology of DJing and sampling, taking little bits of sound and making new sounds out of those bits. That's technology in the music.
Throughout the 60s and the 70s, musicians in many genres began experimenting with synthesizers, mixing wildly surreal and fun psychedelic lyrics with visions of Black liberation and futuristic sounds. Examples include Sly Stone's Psychedelics and Soul, Lee Scratch Perry's experimental dub and reggae, and George Clinton's pioneering funk and rock with Parliament and Funkadelic. Traditional jazz and jazz fusion both featured new sonic palettes and drew on a variety of influences. Two of the most important figures in early jazz fusion are Miles Davis and Herbie Hancock.
A lot of what jazz fusion did is it brought these clashings of just like different timing, different types of sonic palettes to some extent that didn't necessarily fit within that typical 12-note jazz structure or what had been the standard so far. I think that was a lot of the flack that Miles Davis got when he started doing a lot of his stuff.
Davis's albums like Bitches Brew, released in 1970, and On the Corner, released in 1973, are perfect examples of the collision of pop, jazz, studio magic, and the avant-garde. Herbie Hancock began experimenting with electric keyboards and synthesizers in the early 1970s. Albums like Maiwandishi in 1971, Crossings in 1972, Sextant and Headhunters, both released in 1973, are considered the beginning of jazz fusion. Headhunters is one of the highest-selling jazz records of all time. You can hear Watermelon Man threaded throughout multiple genres. Take a listen.
I see tapestry.
They gon' make a sister act up, turn my attitude back up. Get it back, get it back, get it back. Count the money up, call the girls up for backup. Yeah.
Most musicians that you talk to, particularly jazz musicians, they'll be very upfront that while they see themselves as creators, they also see them more importantly as a channel for energy. And that's a lot of what John Coltrane got into in the later part of his career. His wife, Alice Coltrane, as well, she was the one who actually got him into that kind of more spiritual.
Of mine, Alice Coltrane, they were just being influenced by music they like, and they were putting it all into their pot.
The way that Sun Ra was using, to me, was using sound as a tool to imagine possibilities for Black people, using the music as a vehicle to explore also just like identity.
I didn't even know like the term Afrofuturism, was it happening back then? If we're talking about living in the present, acknowledging the past, but hoping for a better future, I would assume that most enslaved individuals were thinking that, like a lot of those field songs and spirituals that they sang was about that hope.
The term Afrofuturism was coined by scholar Mark Deary in 1993. In Deary's conception, Afrofuturism asks, how can a community torn from its roots rediscover its history and imagine possible futures? Well, we imagined it with vibrant costumes, uplifting lyrics, otherworldly instrumentals, and self-mythologies inspired by the cosmos in ancient Africa.
So when it comes to Afrofuturism, I like the term and I think it's accurate in some capacities, but I also think it was a bit of a misnomer. When you look at the terminology and you look at the imagery that's happening, I think a lot of the times people think that these are visions and images of things in the future, when I really think a lot of these visions and images are things from the very, very distant past, from a time where technology was much more abundant than Western history gives it credit for.
It's kind of obvious that you can't have a future without a past and a present. Afrofuturism, it really implies an African past and an Afro present.
I'd like to welcome you to the first of our New York University Jazz Series New Black Music Seminars. We are very happy to have you here to witness that videotaping and hope that perhaps you might learn something about yourselves and something about us and something about Black culture.
I first encountered the term in the 90s. So when I was doing music in the 70s, I didn't know something about Afrofuturism as a term, but I knew I was imagining where I wanted to go 20, 30, 40 years in the future, and it was a place where I would be infusing this African imagery into my music, and through my music reaching out to say, Africans are here, Africans are there, and everything has flowed from that African DNA. The music has an African DNA, and that DNA will combine and communicate with itself and with others and create a future. And I think that maybe, other than Sun Ra and maybe George Clinton, maybe the people who are responsible for advancing Afrocentricity and Afrofuturism were not aware necessarily when we were being pioneers that we were that.
These artists weren't talking about going to some abstract future that hadn't been experienced. You know, George Clinton's talking about the mothership coming back to people. It's not coming for the first time. You know, it's been here. It dropped people off. When Sun Ra is talking about being from Saturn, that's his past. He's not trying to get to somewhere where he doesn't know. He's trying to bring everybody else along to that place where he has been, you know, at least mentally or psychologically.
He's actually talking about things that most of us would shy away from when we're talking in the public.
The music is different here. The vibrations are different. Not like Planet Rave. Planet Rave's sound of guns, anger, frustration. There was no one to talk to up in Planet Rave to understand. We set up a colony of Black people here. See what they can do on the planet all their own without any white people there. They could drink in the beauty of this planet. It would affect their vibrations, for the better, of course.
What's interesting is that in Sun Ra's ideas about Black liberation, you have a collapsing of time. You have a merger of the past and the quote unquote future. Because Sun Ra, as much as he was interested in outer space iconography, he named himself after an Egyptian god. He was interested in the past. He was interested in a pre-black slavery, pre-colonial time when he imagined a type of thriving that he didn't witness among black people growing up in Alabama and ultimately in Chicago. His mythology is about liberation. It's about black liberation and freedom more than it's about a far-off vision of a sci-fi-like future.
I can't believe it. It's really happened. Ra's ship has landed. Ra's ship has landed.
We as black folks and melanated peoples in the United States, we feel that, you know, we feel that there's a disruption. So there's a sense of trying to get back more to a more spiritual and cultural, creative and technological essence that's really there for us and has been there, but it's been distorted and we've been blinded from it and been cut off from it in so many ways. But it still bubbles through. It bubbles through in the music. We're trying to get back to something that's not this abstract future that can't be reached. It's actually a glorious past that we're trying to reconnect with.
Younger artists who pay obvious attention to their African heritage. And all the artists from the past, those will be the shoulders on which our next generation will stand, and they will use the technology and the advancements that Sun Ra and Fela and Earth, Wind and Fire and Miles Davis and George Clinton and Plunky, they will use all those things to create a whole new world. Almost in a biblical sense, a whole new world is possible. And I hope they do it in a Wakanda, and they'll have plenty of new monies and new technology to work with that I can't even imagine.
And I cannot wait to travel with you there. Black music has traveled the globe, spreading without regard to ethnicity and race, spreading beyond borders and beyond the mainstream concepts of race and class that have at times defined American society. Black music is a universal magnet. It is a sonic palette passed down that has inspired others to try and emulate our artistry and our brand of cool through many genres. And its influence is undeniable. I'm Kelly Lemon, and thanks for watching Sonic Threads.
African